Hey guys, what's up? My name is Justin or Prez, and welcome to another NHL 23 news / rumors video to let you guys know this series does discuss news / rumors when it comes down to NHL 23. But when we have those news, and rumors, I'll leave a links in the description down below to the news or the rumor itself. But currently, there's really nothing on NHL 23, so we're in that discussion phase when it comes down to NHL 23, and I'm going to talk about what I want to see in NHL 23, and you guys can put it in the comments down below what you guys want to see in NHL 23 this year. Today, we're going to talk about NHL Be A Pro. One of the main series, and the only series pretty much I do on this channel, is Be A Pro. I've been playing NHL Be A Pro since NHL 15, which is absolutely ridiculous and is a very, very long time. So I got a lot of stuff to say about NHL 23. Well, NHL Be A Pro in general. I have really nothing to say about NHL 23 because I don't know anything about NHL 23. Really, nobody knows. But yeah, I want to discuss Be A Pro because that's pretty much the lifeblood of this channel, and it's been the series I've been doing since NHL 15, like I said before. So I got a lot to say. About Be A Pro. So let's get right into it. Enough for the long intro. So the couple of things that I want to see when it comes down to Be A Pro to make it more fun for everyone to play is actually let us play a full year in Europe, or let us play like a full year in the minors, in the OHL or the CHL. Let us play a full year in the CHL like you did previous Be A Pros before you added the Champion League tournament. But after that, or before that, you can actually go start in the CHL, which is the Canadian Hockey League. And you can start in an OHL team, or you can start in the Quebec Major Juniors team, or you can start in one of those teams. And you gotta choose between. You gotta choose. You could choose to start in the OHL or the Quebec Major Juniors and move your way up to the NHL draft. But they still have the Quebec Major Juniors and the OHL in NHL 22 currently, and I'm guaranteed they'll have an NHL 23. But what I have a problem with is they took out a really good feature a lot of people really enjoyed out of NHL Be A Pro in general, is to allow us to play in the OHL and the CHL and the Quebec Major Juniors a little bit longer than just the tournament or the cup. I want to have the ability where I can actually play a full year in the Quebec Major Juniors or the OHL. Also, I want to have the opportunity to actually play a full year in Europe. I think it'll be pretty awesome. I think it'll be actually pretty damn cool to play a full year in Europe. What we wanted for ever since they even announced that they're going to Europe and they're adding European teams to Be A Pro. We always wanted the ability to play a full year in Europe, and we haven't got that ability yet. Hopefully with NHL 23, and hopefully we can actually see that. And another thing they added this year with NHL 22 is the Women's League, or the women's like Olympic team. And I would love to be able to play in the Women's League. Of course, that's kind of hard because I don't think the Women's League have like a junior program quite like the OHL or the Quebec Major Juniors, or if there's any junior programs out in Europe, I don't really know, but I don't think the women's have that type of setup as the men do when it comes down to this sport. So that might be kind of hard to have, or maybe just the ability just to jump into the Women's League and select I believe there's 6 or 7 teams in the Women's League, and be able to select out of those teams to actually play in the Women's League in Be A Pro. And I think it would be a really cool thing to add to be a pro. I think it would be very interesting. I think a lot of people would love it. A lot of people will be interested in it and actually try it out and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have new people that never played Be a Pro before, that only played like GM or the online stuff. They only just played the online stuff. They don't play the offline stuff. Maybe they jump in and like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. I actually really enjoy Be a Pro, which a lot of people do play Be a Pro. I didn't like. There's a lot of people that play Be a Pro and they really enjoy it, and I am one of them. I would like to see more acceptance when it comes down to women's sport in the NHL games overall, because they definitely deserve it. They've been working so hard to get their league where it is now and get the recognition that they deserve. So I'd love to see them featured in the NHL games from now on. But there's a couple other things on the backbone of Be a Pro that I would love to see. One of them is a story mode, but kind of like a modified story mode when it comes down to it. Like a modified story mode, kind of like the Formula 1 games. If you guys ever played the new Formula 1 game, they actually have, not the new one that's coming out in literally a month almost, but yeah, the 2021. You can actually play a story mode, which is actually pretty damn interesting. I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of people did. Codemasters did an excellent job when it come down to the story mode for the Formula 1 game. And it's completely separate from the career. It's completely separate, which I think a lot of people did enjoy. But I would love to have the idea in that with NHL. Kind of like have a character only play like 3 or 4 weeks. Only have like 4 weeks and cram an entire NHL season into that. But kind of modify it a little bit where you can actually, if you want to carry on that character and its life and everything like that, have it to be able to import into Be a Pro and actually continue that guy's career on that team and all that stuff. I would love to see that as well, to actually have that. Actually have the ability, if you guys want to, import the character from story mode into Be a Pro. You don't have to if you don't want to, but the option is there, and people love options when it comes down to playing their games. So, and another thing is, I would love to see in NHL 23 Be a Pro is actual contract negotiations. So when your contract runs up for your rookie year, or your rookie 3-year contract is up, and you want to negotiate your contract with your agent or the organization, you can say like, hey, I want this many years for this amount of money, and like I guarantee you will win 2 Stanley Cups or 3 Stanley Cups in that time frame, or how many years you actually selected. Let's say if you selected 7 years, and you say to them, hey, I'll win you 3 to 4 Stanley Cups in that time frame, and then you get an extra bonus. And you get a bonus every time you win the Stanley Cup, or if you make it to the Stanley Cup playoffs, you get a little extra bonus in that as well. I would love to see that. I would love to see the contract and negotiations when it comes down to that. I think that'd be actually a pretty cool thing to add, and I think a lot of people would love it. Because right now the contract negotiations are like, hey, here's the team, or here's the 2 teams that offered you a contract, and you have to stick with it. You have to like, okay, I have to stick with this. Like I can't negotiate. Nope. You have to select that contract and deal with it. So, but I would love to see a little bit more freedom when it comes down to that, and kind of have like GM mode, where you can actually go, like you can sign a player. You can go to the free agency and say like, I want this player, but I'll sign you for this much money for this amount of years. I would love to see that in Be a Pro, and have it on the player side where the player gets to decide how much he's willing to charge. Like, hey, give me 7 years, but give me $7 million, $8 million per year on that contract. I think a lot of people would love that change when it comes down to Be a Pro. I absolutely love it as well, and hopefully we actually do get to see it. We may not see it in NHL 23, but hopefully we do see it in the future NHL games if we keep on mentioning it, if we keep on going at it and mentioning it to EA nonstop, as we do with some features. But I would love to see that in NHL Be a Pro. They go add some intensity, because you have to work your way. You have to work your way up through your rookie contract. You have to kind of prove yourself for the 3 years, and then you can get a chance to negotiate your contract. Another thing is sponsorships in Be a Pro. Now I'm talking about sponsorships like Bauer or CCM or Warrior or True Hockey. Like, those type of guys will offer you a contract. Like, hey, wear our gear exclusively, and we'll pay you this much money, and you can actually use that money towards buying perks, such as like houses, cars, and stuff, like jewelry, like we do now, through the money that we get, and we can actually spend it on luxury stuff or personal stuff and stuff like that. But I would love to see like actual sponsorships from like CCM, Bauer, Warrior, True Hockey, and you actually exclusively wear their gear throughout your NHL career or throughout the term that you agree to. I would absolutely love to see that in Be a Pro as well, because that will add something, an incentive to actually play and actually spend the money on. Because once you buy all the things, or once you buy most of the things, there's really nothing else to buy except for the stuff that you need to buy like every 10 games or every 5 games. You need to buy a new thing after it cools down to get that little bit more of extra boost. It's kind of dead from there. It's really no need to spend the money other than that. But and maybe like in that contract, if you wear the gear for a full year, you get an extra X Factor ability or something like that, or you get extra perks to boost your wrist shot or your durability and stuff like that. Like, just little incentives you can actually put in the game to actually make the player feel a little bit more, makes it feel a little bit more real when it comes down to it. But hopefully that does happen. I would love to see that, and hopefully it does, because we definitely need some more stuff when it comes down to actually spending the money and stuff like that than when we do get into the game. There's a lot more things that I would love to see in NHL 23 Be a Pro. There's a lot more things, but I want to end the video here. I don't want to leave it too long. I'll probably make a part 2 to this video, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this. If you let me know in the comments down below, what would you guys like to see in NHL 23 Be a Pro in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your suggestions and your feedback when it comes down to NHL 23 and Be a Pro, and what they could add or what they could improve with this year's game coming up, NHL 23. But anyways, my name is Justin, or Prez, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test, expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second, this life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing, new focus, no guessing, just load an obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take a redemption, just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.